the women suddenly notice that their neighbors are moving in a panic. They decided to go out and say hello, but to their surprise, the neighbors turned and ran as if they were monsters. They came out into the street and found their neighbors running away in a panic. It was as if everyone but them was running away from something terrible. They didn't have time to think too much, so they packed up their things and followed them out of town. But on the only road out of the city, they saw many cars heading in the opposite direction. Why did all these people run back until they reached the end of the road? The government had blocked the only way out of town and asked them to return to their homes and wait for news. They had never seen anything like this before and they didn't know what was going on. Just then a piece of debris from the cliff fell on their car. They followed the sound and looked up at the top of the mountain. The whole mountain was trembling as if it were a beast about to wake up. Suddenly, two jet fighters came roaring out from behind the mountain. They flew over the town and dropped incendiary bombs without warning. The whole town was in flames in an instant. Everyone present was shocked by this shocking scene. Then the two fighters flew towards them. The people were so scared that they ran away and the family ran to the top of the hill. Mom knew there was a little-known shelter there. Soon after they ran out, the place that had just been filled with people was blown to smithereens. The government didn't want to leave anyone alive. They rushed to find the entrance to the shelter when the two planes flew in again. As soon as they closed the hatch, the bombs exploded over their heads. I don't know how much time had passed, but Dad realized that there was a huge amount of supplies stored in the shelter, but they had no idea what was going on outside. The priority now was to survive in the cellar, and so they spent a whole year here. During this year, they got used to life in the cellar. They chained the entrance tightly, because they knew that the outside world had been taken over by an unknown creature, and they were probably the only survivors in the world.